Ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, campers and camperettes, welcome back. We're still in chapter 3. Oh, I told you it was going to be deep. I told you it was going to be thick. There's a lot of it. Okay, all right. So let's get some more of it into those notebooks. You know those notebooks? The notebooks. Man, I tell you what, watch the lectures, take great notes. The test will almost take itself. Use the notes on the test. I can't stop you. I'm not coming over. I'm not watching you. That'd just be weird. My shameless propaganda. Everything's backwards. My shameless propaganda for Stone Harbor up in Grand Marais. Oh man, Grand Marais. Anyway, I'm here to talk today about the reasons that people might have different truth in the first place. If the $1,000,000 question is how can we get along with people? How can we coexist? How can we live with people that don't share our same truth? Begs the question, why? Why don't they have my truth? Why can't everybody just think like me? First of all, boring. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lloyd. Here's the deal. People have different truth for four reasons. They have different perception of the world for four reasons. They think differently. You know, two people can see a movie, they can walk out going, nah, I don't know. And the other person was like, yeah. Why? Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, I present the 4 possible reasons that someone could think differently, perceive the world around them differently than I do. All right? Now think about it. Let's chat. All right. The first reason someone can have different truth is that they can have different senses. What? Yeah, different senses. If I take things in through my senses, SDM, and then I decode it or decipher it to make a meaning, perception, or truth. Remember, all those are interchangeable. If I take things in through my senses, my buddy, my friend, might take it in differently because their senses are different. What? Well, come on, campers. My dad is so colorblind. We sit at a museum, and I look at a Monet or a Monet. I look at a painting that I think is stunning and beautiful, and my dad goes like this. My dad goes, Okay, why? His senses are different. Greatest guy on the planet telling you this, but he's a bit colorblind. Well, he's a lot colorblind. All right? This is like memorize what's up on the top and what's up on the bottom of the stoplights out on the highway. Okay? Oh man. So I'm thinking to myself, senses. Right? His truth about said painting might not be my truth. How many times have you gone into a restaurant? How many times have you gone into a restaurant with a buddy? You know, let's rewind the tape before COVID. Let's rewind the tape to when restaurants were a thing. How many times have you gone into a restaurant, tasted something, and went, "Oh my Lord, this is good, yummy," or some other exclamation like that. And then it's like, well, yeah, you got to try this, and you plucked a bite into your friend's mouth, and your friend went, "What is this? Oh my God, I can't believe you made me eat this." Okay? Why? Your truth is that the thing that you just tasted was awesome. Your friend's truth is like, okay? Why? Well, he's got different taste buds. She doesn't taste the way you taste. Okay? She's got a completely different set of taste buds. She likes sweet, you like sour. All right, moving along. The next reason someone might have a different truth, a different perception of the world around them, is that they have different expectations in the beginning, like my dad going into the museum, like the other day. The other day, I'm hanging out minding my own business, and I sit down to watch a movie with my lovely bride, my wife, who I absolutely fundamentally adore, and we usually like the same things. Excuse me, hairball. Listen, we sat down to watch a movie, and I had heard that this thing was going to be the greatest movie ever. My expectations were on the ceiling. Her expectations were really low. Like three of her friends said, "Yeah, don't bother, don't bother." So when we picked the movie we were going to watch, I said right to her, "This is going to be awesome." My expectations were on the ceiling. Her expectations were low. So when we watched the film, she found so many moments to back up her expectations. I found so many moments to think, awesome. My friends were right. My friends are never wrong. Well, except for picking me as a friend in the first place. But this whole preconceived concept where that movie was going to be awesome made it awesome in my book. Self-fulfilling prophecies? Yeah, look it up. It's a thing. It's a thing. So we walked away with different truth about said movie. All right. Look at number 3, because we want to go quickly today. No boring stuff, right? Good. Different moods. Now, feelings, moods, lump them all together. Emotions in the moment. Moods, emotions in the moment. All right? All right. Let's just stick with it. Let's stick with it. My lovely bride, my wife, married to this woman for a long time. Do anything, honestly. She'd do anything for me. I know that, like I'm sitting here. I'd do anything for her. We're tight, okay? I'll tell you about that in chapter 10. There are skills to maintaining that soulmate relationship. Yeah, and you don't know, because nobody tells you. Anyway, come home the other day, okay? And I said, I got an idea. I got an idea. We're gonna take a picnic. We're gonna go to the park. We're gonna watch water fall over rocks into a pool. We're gonna go sit at Minnehaha Falls, because I don't know. You really can't go where there's like giant crowds. You don't want the COVID. You don't. Okay? So I'm being smart. So I'm thinking, let's go. I am in a great mood. I'm I'm back in the classroom. I'm teaching kids. I'm working my keister off for what I think is a good reason, and it feels good. I'm in a great mood. I come home, I'm smiling, I'm singing. Well, I'm not singing, but I'm happy. Okay? My wife has had the day from hell. She has. That day. Oh, bad day? Understatement of the century. She had a bad day. A really bad day. So we get in the car, we start driving out for this, picnic. We're going to go picnic. Okay? And if it gets late enough, we're going to watch the stars. Yeah, stop it. Here's the deal. Her mood changed the truth about that night. her mood changed her perception, where I was like, oh, it's awesome, peaceful, so good, restorative. She was like, can we get, I got so much to do. I've had such a bad day of my, and that, there's this thing and there's this, and right. Her perception, her truth about the picnic and stargazing was different than mine. All right. Now look at the last one. Look at the one I've accentuated, a different color. Expectations, mood, and different senses, they pale in comparison to this one. This is a primary reason that people have different truth than I have. This is a primary reason that people could look and perceive the world around them differently than me. So it needs to be highlighted, underscored, and starred. It is one of the most important reasons, if not the important reason, the most important reason, that people have different truth of perception. They have different experiences. They have different experiences than I do. True story. They're not me. They were born in a different place. They grew up in a different world. Okay, listen. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that every single day we experience something. We experience something. And that experience becomes part of our inner core. We're going to see that in chapter 9. That experience becomes part of our inner core, our being. Tony has experienced the world completely differently than Tina. And yet, they want to have a go at being best friends. They do have different truths because of those experiences. I had a good buddy named Omar. And I want to tell you this, I learned so much from this man. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be the teacher. Oh, come on, stop it. Okay? You think Omar's experiences led him to a different truth than I possessed in oh my Lord. This is a man who in his home country of Bahrain made the mistake of insulting the king in a public coffee house. He was arrested, thrown into prison, and really, quite frankly, you don't want to be thrown into prison in Bahrain, especially for insulting the king. His uncle, who was a military man, snuck into the prison, snuck Omar out, and extradited him to Turkey, hid him, and then got him to the United States. Where I met him and became fast friends. Okay, listen. I bet you dollars or donuts. You pick. I bet you donuts that you can't point to Bahrain on a map, let alone understand what it's like to be in a Bahraini prison, let alone understand what it's like to run first to Turkey, then to a completely, a foreign place, the United States. Okay? Trust me. Omar's perception of the world, his truth, his constructs of reality, how can they not be different than mine? I was born and raised in South St. Paul, Minnesota. Blue collar, down in the hood. All right? Here's the deal. Experience has to be the number one reason that people don't have the same truth or perception of the world around them. All right? Pick a subject, any subject. Go ahead, pick a subject, any subject. Let's pick homelessness. Homelessness. All right? A lot of truth out there about homelessness. I'd ask, Mom's calling. I'd ask a question like, what do you think of homelessness? Oh, man. Oh, woman. I bet I'd get some people in class going, they're just lazy. They got to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and get a damn job. They're so lazy. Oh, man, they're a scourge. They're just, okay, listen. Stop it. Your truth without experience, completely different than the kid I had in third hour like 4 years ago. 4 years ago, there's this kid sitting in third hour, and I'm giving this lecture. That was back when we had, class in class. Okay, I'm giving this lecture, and the dude is looking at me for the first time. He's awake. He's looking at me, and this is a kid, and I noticed he had probably 4 different T-shirts total. 4 different T-shirts total. He'd come in and he'd put his head down, and it was first hour, and he'd kind of drift off and back in, and I'd tap on the desk and try to wake him up, that proximity thing. And after this lecture, he came over to me and he said, "Hey, Joswak, that homeless stuff, that homelessness." He goes, "Thank you." I said, What? He goes, "Well, I'm living in my truck. I don't know where I don't know where I'll end up, but right now I'm living in my truck." Because my mom and my dad got divorced. We lost our house. Everything went to hell, Joswak. And I've been couch surfing at my friends, but now my friends are sick of me. And I'm living in my truck. True story. I said, Tony, we'll fix this. Okay? Now, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get a job. This dude had 2 jobs. He had 2 jobs. He was one of my famous Fleet Farmers. True story. One of the shirts that I have, the Fleet Farm shirts that I'm not supposed to have, came from him. And he had another job too. No wonder he was tired in my class. He was out plowing snow. Okay? Listen. Okay? His experience. They're calling me home. Okay, his experience with homelessness, not mine, and certainly not yours. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, first of all, they'd have to have good boots. Okay? I knew a guy living under the bridge in St. Paul by my house. I'd walk down the High Bridge, take some walks sometimes. There's a guy living under the bridge. He served in Iraq. He was a veteran, a hero. Okay? And he came home to a place he didn't recognize. He came home with PTSD so badly that he couldn't fit back in. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Interesting. Your truth and your reality, based on your experiences, okay, might just be different than somebody else's, who's actually crawled into the dumpster, pulled the newspapers over them because they had no place to go. All right, there we go. There's 4 good reasons why people could not necessarily share my same truth. Got it? All right, I'm running over 20 minutes again. I'm trying to keep them to 20. All right? I got to go. I got a lot of important things to do. I just don't know what they are.